Hello, everyone. I'm Jamie Price. Welcome to the September energies. So, we are in the final month of a quarter of foundation building. And this is to help us sustain our creative harmonic, which are the overall energies of the year. And the way that Ariane has framed this quarter makes so much sense to me, so important as we move through this time that has felt like such an advancement of our creative harmonic. Are you owning your power more, holding that higher resonance, using your subtle bridge, your thoughts, emotions, your intentions to get your energy into this world instead of just reacting to the external? So beingness, the July energies, the first part of this foundation building quarter, that brought that deeper connection between your human and higher self, physical and non-physical, the part of you that experiences separation and the part of you that experiences connection, the 99% part of you. And that creates more empowered flow, more neutrality, more connection with your innate divinity. And then we moved into conscious choice because choosing from that empowered state is very different than choosing from lack, fear, disbelief, any resonance that's limiting you, whether it's conscious or unconscious. And since Ariane is moving us through progression rather than prediction this year, September energies are, of course, the perfect next step for this. So the topic this month is balance. And it wasn't until I started thinking about this video that I realized it's also the month of the equinox, but the energies would be what they are anyway. And there are two main themes that I'm going to focus on in this video. So in the Lyran perspective for September, Ariane channels about the connection between balance and imbalance. And they are often helping us to neutralize or soften our mental and emotional perceptions so that when something's too rigid in separation, we can transform that into a more open state. That's how we truly strengthen our subtle bridge. And balance is something that our body is continually seeking. Every cell seeks homeostasis. We seek emotional, mental homeostasis, creative balance. And imbalance often feels uncomfortable, and it can even be as extreme as disease. But when we're focused on our wholeness or utilizing the whole system, the full flow of creation, we're easing into that natural flow from balance to imbalance and then back to new balance. And Ariane channels about how our imbalance is just a natural state and it's a valuable part of the process of change. So our work is to perceive imbalance with more neutrality. And they use the example, which they've used before, of the imbalance of taking a step forward. You have to imbalance your body when you lift that foot, and then you find a new balance as you put your foot on the ground. So we become so skilled at that we don't even recognize it as imbalance. It's just walking. Imbalance is synonymous with movement, change, chaos, unknown. So looking at any kinds of ways that you're resisting that movement, that change, that unknown, because it feels like imbalance, your work is to become more peaceful with that, find more neutrality with that, because balance is just the other side of the coin of imbalance. That's going to be very important in September. Now, the second way they're framing this is related to the visions that I was shown, and it's even related to the light language transmission. And that is beginnings and endings are completely connected, just like balance and imbalance, two sides of one coin. So really perceiving imbalance as part of balance, connected to it, a continuation of the balance phase. It's all part of creation. They each create each other automatically, just like release and activation. The whole point of our duality experience, you can't truly separate endings and beginnings. And just as that taking a step becomes walking, this is that deeper perception, or what creates less resistance as you're experiencing a new beginning or an ending, as you're experiencing balance and imbalance. And how this might show up in your life is, especially when things aren't smooth or blissful or manifesting easily, that you are truly embracing them as the perfect experiences that they are, just as valuable, just as powerful of a part of that creation, especially when it is blissful or easy, that you're seeing all of those as connected, because imbalance is connected to the elegant solution that new balance brings. Now, first I want to talk a little bit about how to do that, and then the why. The how, letting your authentic thoughts and emotions flow and observing them. That brings it into your awareness. That begins the process of change. So when you let those authentic thoughts and emotions arise, you embrace them. And if they're positive, amplify that, because you're already in that open and relaxed creative state. When you notice any kind of physical, mental, or emotional resistance, soothe yourself so that you're in a more open or relaxed state, even though it won't feel the same. You can use self-talk, energy healing, walks in nature. Use that list of go-tos that I talk about often, that are things that you enjoy that help you relax, to release that tension, open your flow, open your energy field. That's the how. Now, the why pertains to the vision that I was shown. And of course, it's also showing us how life is assisting us to actualize our creative harmonic better. The vision that I was shown for September is the right brain activating more conceptual, creative, connective focus. I was then shown a mirror, a reflection, and part of that was about the connection between those two, because that's what your consciousness is. Your conscious choice is how you're connecting those reflections. But it was also pointing out the mirror neuron functionality and shifting that from fear-based, unconscious reaction into more conscious imprinting. That helps us understand the power of our focus and how we're impacting our own future, our experience. If it's unconscious, we're allowing others to dominate our inner realm. That might be with disempowerment narratives, fear, control, confusion. Or are you taking control of your sovereign inner realm and really holding your creative harmonic? And of course, it doesn't mean that every moment is blissful, but it will mean that you're empowered and creative instead of disempowered and reactive. Creative and reactive, similar energies. The words are almost identical except for where the letter C is. How you're perceiving determines whether you're creative or reactive. The word creative, the C is at the beginning. So are you initiating the flow of your focus? Reactive, the C, or the perception, is in the middle. So are you getting pushed and pulled by life and not able to find that new balance? And when you perceive imbalance or all the challenges in your life or in this world as opportunities to create a new balance, that's you being creative, holding that higher harmonic, and not just reacting and being pushed and pulled, kept off balance. That you are creatively using your conscious choice holding that higher harmonic and finding your new balance. Now, I want to talk about the light language and then one more aspect of these energies, because there was a lot to the visions this month. By the way, September 24th begins the final class to learn light language online with me this year. So if you want to learn this powerful, natural, expansive form of nonlinear communication, which is a really powerful brain expander, now's the time. This whole process of opening to light language is really transformative. So if you want to join that class, that information's on my website, jamieprice.com. You'll find that, all the other classes and subscription programs and things that I'm doing, and information is in the links below. So what I was experiencing with the light language transmission for balance was so interesting. I could feel the infinite mind coming online. And it was shown to me as the sky just opening up. And this felt like more ability to hold those higher perceptions, to hold space, because that alignment of the heart and the mind naturally helps to expand the mind into a better coherence with the heart. Having that open mind, feeling calmer, feeling more focused. And right as that was occurring, a blue jay flew over me. And that represents proper use of power. Hello, that is your creative power. Now, the next thing that I was shown in the light language continues that vision for balance, and it brings back something that I was feeling in June, and that's the energy of 369, like Nikola Tesla spoke of. This part of the vision, I was shown the yin-yang symbol. It was in the head, in the brain, and as it was moving, I could see the mirror or the reflection. And that was from that earlier part of the vision. But I was reminded of 369, meaning that as those opposites, like the 6 and the 9 that look like those swirling opposites in the yin yang, that it's the catalyst, the number 3, the triad, your consciousness, the observer, the invisible connection that actually connects those two opposites, endings and beginnings connected. And the month of 3 this year was creative focus, all about your internal connection, connecting you outward with life because you're always emitting information that life is responding to. The month of 6 was co-creation, and Ariane wanted to flip the script on that for us so that we realize instead of thinking, oh, I'm co-creating with something that is so big outside of me, so much more powerful, that we realize we are an immense power, that 99.9% of you is vast and powerful. It's innate. And here we are in the month of 9, remembering clearly that endings are beginnings, beginnings are endings. Balance is imbalance, back to new balance. When you're in that state of imbalance, you're already connected to the new balance if you let your consciousness, the subtle bridge, hold that higher harmonic, your creative harmonic. That's why they say all the time, when the loving ones are boldly living their lives, holding that sovereign inner realm as the love that they are, that's when the world changes. That's what you're doing as you balance and then imbalance and find that new balance. You're holding that higher octave of creation, love. And that is who you truly are. I hope you have an amazing equinox and enjoy the light language. Jamnem mnara krayarot oa branat ureb sanchut nam mnayerekne mehetchiarot rod salerem akieretane het such art
Dan mnarut unokroret grel ruma brennet im sturumat sikner hatiat Damor branat him mnan sakoret aktayarut oal jairut hunun sunj mna herknet mnerat ariat roma. Zonom jair okror taklel renihit siech num siknend hetierum. Mnana weret anan sakrayerat aurat brel renan shairma kanen eneat ut such grerumat brel hernam. Mnaerumak akan such urubtand. Dairuma kal renat ayat sua. Jana sach okror takrayarum bral nem onon sukoras dairum sach akrayarat gral rma at nem net such chene at krieret. Kor grandat au hanam mnaerut such amjerakna tairut ono horakrail braerut on sachni hat dal armaktient end akraerut ua. Sanea stam utsum chakniama. Taira, korakand, karuma, brandat hilum ashtayarumat sekchandat. Senencher mat bdira taktayet akral, kanan nam such mneraka, korat, kandat, horema, red sureb charataknim. Suma inja. Him shurat akrayal im mnaurat kadiat urut sand menera kayal im. Ani an sachatierum korat aktayarut bral hnan sachamnat aktieret ektiera ka utsem sterum et such mna at oktorat akrel hurma mnema brema ma ansu Wesu koakan stairum atsem ochunum dam oret ka at arant oremer brel arne tsanen shakroret kad aktayet uno utsum me hamias ununsum. Wan stairumat eklul im mneratana mnoraka kan atsachat derut ukuam han numa wa sua sumshaya. Hak orak okwa tam.